gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, July 22nd. Thank you guys so much for being here as we kind of do a best of show here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I know it's tough to think best of when we hope we're getting better, but we've had some really fun interviews over the first 6 months of the show. So today we're going to be taking a look back at some really good ones over the last month, especially if you're an Iowa Hawkeye fan. First and foremost, if you're watching us live on YouTube, we appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do so ASAP. Also, we are live on X as always. X has been very, very good to us as well. So if you are watching us on X, we appreciate that. And then, of course, you can check us out on all the podcasting platforms as well. We do appreciate that. Also, as we mentioned, it's kind of a look back at the best of, and today we're going to kind of focus on some Iowa Hawkeye athletics. Over the last month alone, we've had the pleasure, maybe a month and a half, of being joined by several interviews that deal with or speak to a lot about Iowa athletics. Of course, we're lucky all the time to be having Pat Anger on the show and Tom Kakert and Kyle Huseman and those type of people, Chad Leistico, really good people when it comes to Iowa athletics and breaking it down and giving their expertise. But we've also gotten some really good interviews as well. And just over a month ago, or just under a month ago, we talked to a former Iowa Hawkeye, a former Orion standout, who's getting ready for season number 2 in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to take a look back on an interview we did with Logan Lee on June 23rd. We are joined now by a very familiar face here in the Quad Cities and, of course, to Iowa football fans. Logan Lee joining me right now. First and foremost, how have you been, big fella? I haven't seen you in a little while.
Yeah, I've been doing great. Very blessed. My family and I are back staying in Geneseo with the in-laws right now, so we're currently looking around for places to settle down after next season. So we're looking, kind of starting to peek at houses a little bit. She wants to live in Illinois. I want to live in Iowa, but we're kind of negotiating there. But, yeah, it's nice to be back, feeling good, feeling healthy. Yeah, glad to be back in the area.
Okay, I got to talk to you for a second because you're negotiating. Do you ever win? And not like the negotiation when it comes to the misses? Like, I've been married for almost 20 years now, and I don't feel like I ever win. Like, when you said we're negotiating, I just thought, well, you're going to live in Illinois because that's happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah, it would be so I think in the scriptural confines, we have our majors and our minors as a husband and a wife. And I think if our majors align, I think biblically speaking, the husband should end up making the choice. But if it's not necessarily a hill I'm willing to die on, I just need to talk to some scriptural mentors to see what values I'm holding, what values she's holding that should outweigh one another. So looking for some advice from some of my spiritual mentors in my life.
Okay, well, I'm probably not that. I just go with the old happy wife, happy life thing. So and
that's generally a pretty consistent statement. I would say if it's not a hill I'm willing to die on, I just yield, and that usually comes out for the better.
No, I love it. I love it. I want to talk to you a bunch about football in a second, but the last time we were on, you had this little dude new in your life. How's Junior? How's he? He's 6 months now. He's probably walking. He's tackling things. I'm assuming he's doing all those kind of things.
Yeah, we have an extensive training regimen. No, I'm kidding. But he's doing great. He's starting to army crawl quite a bit, and then he's trying to crawl normally. So he's getting on all fours, and then he's like planking. Like doing like an upright plank. So he's like trying to start crawling. It's pretty fun. Yeah, we've got a few. I've got a few tricks with him. He can do quite a bit of stuff, but it's fun.
I
Um, yeah, it's pretty great being a dad. It's nothing like it at all. Nothing like it.
I want to talk to you about that because we've talked football so much over our friendship, and now you're a dad. And I remember I probably told you, but I tell everybody I can, like, you can do all these things and accomplish all these things in life. Being a dad is just next level. What has that been like for you to be a dad? Somebody who's accomplished a boatload of stuff in his life when it comes to athletics and wrestling and all that kind of stuff. Being a dad's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. I'm like, I want a dozen kids. My wife's like, no. I'm like, I'll probably yield on that one, um, but it's pretty fun. It's just something different. You can't explain it, but if you do it, you understand it, and it's amazing. It's so much more rewarding than anything you'll do in life, and it's just like what a blessing it is to be able to bring life into this world, and I'm looking forward to the next couple too. So
There you go. No, it's this time, Logan. I'll tell you right now, you're getting into the best, in my opinion, the best part. I loved
yeah,
like 9 months to like 2.5 or 3,
yeah.
and I loved all the time. It's not
It's
like
downhill
yeah, no, but like that little area where they start getting a little mobile, they're cute as can be. I love, like, babies are great, but they just sit there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't, like, they smile and everybody's like, "Ooh, they smile and it's cute." But like, no, this you're gonna enjoy the heck out of it. Well, you're getting ready for year 2 with the Steelers. What has your off season been like, and how are you as you prepare for a big season in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's been nice. Right now, it's kind of a lower tempo phase for me. It's more refining some of the technique stuff. So like I'll go to Iowa City twice a week right now, and I'm just trying to kind of refine some of my fundamentals and then stay in shape a little bit. And I'm not hitting the weights too hard yet. I'm not running too much. I'm just trying to give my body a little break after the OTAs and the mini camp. I didn't get banged up or anything. I just want to properly give my body some time to recover. And quite frankly, rest is the best way you can do that. So this week, I'll probably still tempo down a little bit, and then I'll start ramping up next week and try to peak once we go into camp. I think right now we start on July 21st. Ballpark, give me a couple days. I don't know, but I think I want to try to peak that week I get back. So there's no reason to absolutely push it right now and then subject myself to further injury like
Yeah.
I did last year.
You look at OTAs. Last year, you're a rookie, just got drafted, all those kind of things, eyes wide open. Was there more of a comfort this year when it came to OTAs, not just on the field, but what life's like? What is life like as a second year player? You probably got to know a little more right now, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's so much more fun too. You have so much more time to be able to hang out with the guys because you're there for an extra month and a half compared to the rookies because they get in so late. So you're just being able to actually hang out with some of your buddies outside of the workplace. It's like you have coworkers, and it's like you don't always want to spend all your time with them during the season. So it's like you don't really get to know a whole lot of them. Like there's one or two guys that you always just connect with right away, but there's not a whole lot of them that you're able to just get to know on a more personal, intimate level. And it's like now we're able to go golfing or go shooting and be able to spend some time together. And it's nice because it's a ton of fun because all we do for the first two phases, all we do is work out until 1:30, like have meetings and then work out until 1:30, and then we have the day off. And we're like, huh, this is great. It's like and then I race back to see my wife and son. But once or twice a week, we'll hang out with the boys too. So
No, I love it.
it's so much easier being able to transition this way too because you understand what's going on in the playbook. The install is so slow, so that really helps for mentally being able to comprehend it. And you've already been through it once, so you're relearning, and it's easier to relearn than start from scratch. So
You mentioned, connecting with teammates. You get to easily connect with like 2 or 3 guys right now. There's plenty of Hawkeyes on that team with Y.A. Black and Caleb Johnson and Sebastian Castro. You were just in Iowa City with those guys a year ago, and now you're reconnected. What was draft weekend like, the day after, all those kind of things? And you had to be thrilled to see 3 former teammates coming your way and being a Steeler with you.
Man, it's so cool being able to have guys, buddies that you've known for more than 6 months there. It's like I've known Castro and I were in the same dorm floor. So like we were just down the hall from each other. We were at Iowa together for 5 years. I had a wedding in Punta Cana. He came to the wedding. So it's like we're pretty close. And he called, I think he was probably one of the first people he called. So he was like, hey, and then I missed the call or the FaceTime, and I'm like, Tori, Castro called me, knowing that the only reason he would call me is probably to tell me he was coming to Pittsburgh. So you can ask my wife. She was like, calm down. It's okay. It's great. It's awesome. But and then even Wyatt, like I spent 4 years in the same room with Wyatt. It's so great to be able to have him back. It's just, like I said, it's nice to have people you formerly know, not are getting to know. So you can just immediately connect with guys on a day-to-day basis rather than trying to work into a relationship. And like I said, there's guys that I'm really close with on the team for sure, but I still haven't been with him for 4 or 5 years, you know. And then Caleb, I've been really impressed with him. He's been awesome, great teammate so far. I was a little uncertain just because we never interacted a whole lot at Iowa. His freshman year, we interacted a little bit more. He was great. And then we kind of separated a little bit, offense, defense. You just don't spend a whole lot of time with the guys across the ball. And I've been very impressed with the way he's been handling himself. He's working hard. He's improving a lot. So it's just great to have guys that have been brought up in their football career in a similar way, and they're really they are very mature in the football sense. So it's fun to see.
No, absolutely. Logan Lee joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Logan, we talked last year about how the Steelers were a good fit for you because it was very Iowa-ish. I don't know if that's how we said it, but they match when it comes to culture and all that kind of stuff. It's not a surprise that you add 3 more Hawkeyes then, is it? I mean, it kind of reaffirms that what Iowa football does and what the Pittsburgh Steelers do, especially when it comes to people and culture, match. That's kind of got to be reaffirming to see 3 more Hawkeyes. They must like what Kirk Ferentz does in Iowa City.
Yeah, and at the very least, they're going to get a guy that's going to be a good locker room guy. So it's pretty cool to be able to see that and see the because in my room, I think we have 5 Wisconsin guys: TJ, Herbig, Keanu, Isaiah, 4 Wisconsin D linemen or outside backers. And so there's usually tendencies that a team has, and hopefully we're going to more Iowa folk. So I think it's a better crop of guys you're getting anyways.
I didn't realize there were so many Wisconsin guys. Like, is that could become a cool thing. Like the Iowa-Wisconsin game this year probably is going to be a little interesting if you got 4 Hawkeyes in the locker room and a bunch of Badgers in the locker room. You guys better represent.
Yeah. Oh, man, absolutely. And heck, it's just Big Ten in general. I don't know if there's more than a few guys outside the Big Ten. We have 20 guys in our D-line outside backer room, and I bet there's 4 or 5 guys that are not Big Ten guys. And it's like, and if they are not Big Ten guys, they transferred out. So they started off as Big Ten guys.
Sure.
It's pretty cool to be able to make some of those connections too, connect the dots between different teams, different people. Like, were you there that year? And it's like, yeah. It's like, so. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Big Ten ties for sure.
No, 100%. How do you play the role of big brother with some of these guys, especially YA when he comes into the room? And are you there to kind of help out, show around, not just on the field, but off the field as well? Because you remember what it was like to be a wide-eyed rookie that didn't know what he was doing. How have you kind of taken them under your wing a little bit, if you can?
Yeah, and when I was back training before they did pro day and stuff, I was like, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. There's a lot that the league has to offer, but there's a lot of like underlying opportunities that is not as emphasized or talked about as some other things. So there's a lot of different benefits, um, a lot of different ways the league works that are just like completely over your head because it is a business. And just helping guys walk through that, navigate that. I talked to a lot of the Iowa guys, and then once they got into the building, I'm like, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to help you as best I can. I talked to Castro before he got on campus, talked to White before he got on campus, and Caleb, who didn't really apply, I can't really help him with the offensive scheme a whole lot. But the other two guys, I can at least give a breakdown and tell them what we expect as a team, as an organization. So it's been cool, and I'm trying to help but not overstep. And it's like if they need help with anything, they know to ask, and just trying to be a good teammate and yeah, yeah, help support them where they need.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how much you guys did in OTAs. Have you had to try to tackle Caleb yet?
No, we aren't allowed to tackle.
Okay.
Nope. Just trying to knock the ball out of his hand. That's about it. But so you aren't really allowed to tackle with the union rules and everything. So
Sure.
during camp, I'll be tackling Caleb.
There you go. There you go. Hopefully a lot. Hopefully a lot. Logan Lee joining us right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I don't know if you know this, but like a certain quarterback recently signed with the team you play for. I don't know if you had heard those kind of things. Aaron Rodgers is in Pittsburgh. As a Steeler, how have you watched that whole thing unfold, and what's it like now having Aaron Rodgers in your locker room on your team as a teammate in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it was great. He came in, gave the team a great speech, and I think we're bought in for the excuse me, bought in for the meantime at least. So he's got a resume that you cannot argue with, and we're like Coach Tomlin always says, we are in the business of winning football games, and I think that bringing him in gives us a great chance to do that. And I'm looking forward to being able to work with a 21-year vet, something like 20-year vet. That's crazy. You don't hear that very often. It's like I got a 36-year-old in my room. There's a 42-year-old still playing in the room down the hall. So it's cool. A lot of experience, a lot of winning. Highest paid player in the NFL history, like throughout his career. It's like there's a lot of resume cues that are coming up. So it's pretty cool. We're looking forward to it, and yeah, we just want to win football games. Whoever helps us get there, we're looking forward to investing in them.
All right, I got to ask a question, and I know the answer a little bit, but I'm scrolling through Twitter the other day, or X, or whatever you call it now, and there's a golf outing. I think it was Cam Hayward's golf outing, and there's you and Aaron Rodgers just smiling next to each other, taking a picture. And of course, right away, I had buddies saying like, "Man, look at that! Logan and Aaron Rodgers are tight or best." Like, obviously, it's going to take a little while, but you got yourself close in a picture with Aaron Rodgers.
Right, completely by accident. I was talking to Brett Kiesel, the guy on my other side. He was a former defensive lineman for the Steelers forever. I grew up a Steelers fan, so I knew Brett well and knew of Brett well. Never met him yet. So we were just talking, trying to chop it up. We were talking about fishing, fly fishing, his property and everything. And then they're like, get in line for a photo. And we just stood next to each other, and then he squeezed in, and we're like, oh. My wife immediately texted me like, you meet him? I'm like, I just shook his hand and said, I'm Logan, pleasure to meet you. Likewise. And then it's like, we don't know each other very well.
No, I love it. I love it. Hey, how's the golf game? Because I got to tell people, hold on, I got to tell people before my first Logan Lee golf experience was you came for the first time to golf in my dad's golf outing. And you showed up, and we got up to the first tee box. On Logan, you weren't wearing any shoes that year.
Yeah, if they didn't spray so many chemicals on the golf course, I would absolutely still be barefoot. And then I started looking into like, actually, your feet can absorb a lot of chemicals. Turns out, so I'm like, I prefer not to ruined my body.
Well, it's funny because you came up and you were like, "Hey, is it okay if is this okay?" And I said, "Who's gonna stop you? Like you're 6'5", 300 pounds or whatever." I'm like, "I don't think they're gonna say anything. You're good to go." So, that was my first experience with it. How is the golf game? Is it getting any better?
You know what? It is getting better. My misses are straighter and further, so it's. I'm not a good golfer by any means, but I'm working in the right direction. So I took 2 lessons, just 2. Actually, it helped. Like I could go to the driving range all day and not know I'm doing wrong, and then a guy will just be like, "Hey, try this," and it's like, "Oh, that worked."
Wow.
So just trying to apply lessons are way more beneficial than just hitting balls at the range, in my opinion. If you're starting at start.
I bet.
So.
I need to get a lesson. I've been doing it for way too long, and I'm really, really bad. Last thing about golf, how far are you hitting it if you hit it right? If you hit it correctly off the tee and you really smoke one, what are you feeling? What are you hitting it?
It'll go – I'll probably carry right at 300, 310 on a good shot, and then but my driver's my most inconsistent club, so it's like if we're playing a 4-man scramble – I can unload on a few because there's 3 balls in play. But if we're playing solo, I might get a good drive around, and then I'm right off the fairway. I don't play out of the fairway much if I'm playing solo. So, yeah.
The fairway's overrated. Those are for golfers. Come on, we need to be out in the rough as well. Logan Lee joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. You mentioned getting back to Iowa City a couple times. That place is still super important to you. What's it mean to you to get back up there to kind of lock in, recenter yourself, be around those people? That's someplace you want to continue to get to. Why is it important for you to still get to Iowa City over the off season and work out, train, do those kind of things?
Yeah, I think it's really important to be able to work out with guys that you appreciate. It helps your performance a lot. It helps the bonding, and there's just something special about working out with guys you're good buddies with, and just trying to keep those connections, keep those relationships together. And then also it's just like the coaching staff, they're great. They write up the script for you, so you're doing their workouts. There's just a lot of good opportunities. There's a little bit of recovery stuff I'm able to do. Don't have the full gambit like I did in college, but like I have the tubs, I have the rollers, I have so much more equipment, so much more resources. And then I got a couple buddies that are wanting to work on form fundamental walkthrough stuff. And it's nice because you don't have to go 100%. You can half speed reps, and it's kind of like wrestling, like taking reps. It's like a lot of the pass rushing stuff you need to get comfortable with, slow motion, and then just slowly progress. So it's nice to have guys that are willing to let you hit their arms really hard with your arms. I don't know a whole lot of people that want me to do that to them around here.
Yeah.
So
that
it's just
like
nice to be able to have guys that understand that are invested in the same thing I'm pursuing. So we're beating each other up a little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Logan, where are you at with going into year 2? Obviously, you're healthy, you're excited. Do you put expectations on it? I know we've talked a lot about like the journey that it is and the world that it is, and the NFL's an up and down, hostile environment, all those kind of things. What are your expectations as you get ready for year number 2? Where you want to be? What do you want to do? All those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to an opportunity to compete. I want to be in the best position to help my team succeed as much as possible. And I say that with full-heartedly, I just want to win football games, and I would like to be a part of it. So I want to starting at start. I was on IR, so I was inactive all last year, and the next step is to be activated and then to contribute minimally, and then hopefully by some point in the season, to start off, I'd like to contribute a lot more towards the end of the season and carve out a role for myself. And a lot of that comes in the form of progressing in the pass rush. I can take on a double team pretty well. That's one thing that I have held on to and kind of been able to learn a lot from Iowa. And then now it's like trying to emphasize the pass rush because that's way more important in the NFL than it was in college. And by all means, it's important in college, but it's different. But yeah, I'm just trying to be the best man, be the best teammate, be the best player I can be. And at the end of the day, if that's not enough, I truly believe that God has a better plan for myself, and I'm willing to trust that and whatever that looks like. But I'm going to try to fight this, try to do my best, and honor the Lord in doing it. So.
No, I love to hear that. Are you still living the dream being a Steeler? Like, is that still, do you still wake up in the morning ever so often and be like, I'm part of the Steelers organization? Like, as a kid growing up, loving it, being a Steeler fan, that's still got to be so cool.
Yeah, it's so neat. And just being able to, like, I was just telling Tori, is like, especially summer's great because you get in at 9 o'clock. You start work at 9 o'clock, and then you leave at 1 o'clock, and you're like, full day's work. And it's like, I was just lifting weights. I'm like, I would do that if I wasn't working, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I'm like, I was just telling Tori, I just love my job. It's so much fun. And then once we get into the season, it's like, you're actually there for the football. And it's like, I love that too. And the time restraint, the time commitment, once the season starts is pretty hefty. And I'm sure it can take a toll, but I know most of the women in the league, the wives, the girlfriends, they know what they're getting themselves into with the time restraints, because we have 3 months in the off season, which we're fairly available. But during the season, you got one good day a week, and then most of the time you're not as available, which is unfortunate, but it comes with it, and it's a short lifespan of the league too. So it's like it's a hyper investing opportunity for a few short years, and then things open up quite a bit after that. So what a blessing it is to be a part of it. I love it to death. I'm just, I thank the Lord every day for the occupation I'm holding.
No, absolutely. A couple more before I let you go. You get up to Iowa City. How much are you still tracking, knowing, following Iowa football, and I guess your thoughts on the Hawkeyes as we get ready for another season under Kirk Ferentz? And I'm that guy, Logan, where like when people don't have high expectations for the Hawkeyes, or the highest, I feel like that's when they do some of their best stuff and they have some of their best seasons. I'm bullish on this football team. What are you as we get ready for this season?
Truthfully, it's a little bit harder for me. I found it as guys start leaving. So like last year was really easy to stay invested in because I know the entire defense. I know most of the offense. And it's like, I know guys personally. So it's like, it's easier to invest in. I think this will be about the last year where I have good buddies on the team that I'm willing to invest in. But that's lesser of them too. So there's only I've played with a couple dozen of them still, but I have 4 good buddies on the team now. So it's like, I think this is one of the tail end years where I'm completely committed. And I'm always going to root for them. I'm always going to, like, if I have a free Saturday, I'm going to turn the game on for sure. I'm going to root for the Hawks, but it's a lot easier, a lot more fun when you know the guys personally. Yeah. So in off season, I don't track any of that. I'll just watch them during the season. I'll keep up with the 4 or 5 guys I keep in touch with. I'll keep tabs on, and then after that, it's I'll just watch the games for the most part.
It's funny, Logan, because one of the things going into this season for Iowa football is there's my good friend Tom Kakert kind of said that like there's probably more questions on defense than offense, which is crazy to me because Iowa's defense. With that staff, with Phil Parker, with those coaches, and you don't need to know anything, but like you're around those coaches all the time. Probably okay to have. You got to feel good knowing that it's in those guys' hands. How good of a coaching staff, those guys on the defensive side, did you get to, play for and be with and be in rooms with all those years?
Yeah. I must be really out of touch because I'm not worried about Iowa's defense. That's crazy. I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into that one.
I wouldn't say
I think,
worried. I would just say there's more like you're used to the names coming back, and there's more new faces,
gosh,
if that makes any sense.
okay,
So there's
that's fair.
more
That's
like
fair.
question marks about the Iowa defense. But my main point of my question is just like when you have Phil Parker and those guys in those rooms, how good of a coaching staff was that you got to be with and play with? That's about as good as they get in college football, isn't it?
Yeah, unreal. And I would say, and I don't know if it was just because the learning the college playbook at Iowa was much more difficult than learning the NFL playbooks. I don't know if it's more difficult per se, but maybe it's just because I came from high school where there's a couple stunt plays and the same thing all day, and then you have to run 90 different calls just off the 2 second. It's wild, but
Yeah.
um, I think even the Iowa guys in Pittsburgh right now, the defensive guys especially, they understand that they're like, oh, this isn't so bad. The install is actually pretty easy. It's like, I'm like, yeah, because we did 90 different plays we had to know at Iowa. So that I would say that's why there's a lot of maturity with the Iowa guys coming out, is just because of the difficulty of the system we ran.
Yeah.
And once you have a good group of guys that are willing to invest and willing to run what you want them to and not just go cowboy on you and just do their own thing, that's when the Iowa defense has the most success. Because I know statistically there's a lot of it's more built for the defensive backs for interceptions, and it's more built for linebackers for tackles. And the D line up front's just holding it down, taking up we're taking up all the blockers, so the guys behind us can run free. And the system's just it's the best college system you can run, in my opinion. And the coaching staff, they will get the most out of you, and it's just pretty cool. So, and the way they recruit guys, they're recruiting guys that they can expect to count on and buy into the culture, and that's what's going to give you the most success. Is if people buy in, you're going to do pretty well for yourself. So
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, before I let you go, college players are making a lot more money these days than you got to a few years ago. Do you sit back ever so often and be like, dang it, like if I was just a little bit younger or a little bit older, I would have gotten some more money and all those kind of things? I mean, you got a little bit and all those kind of things, but your thoughts on where college football is going, because players are getting compensated, and probably a great thing as somebody who's been through it and been through the battles and the wars.
yeah, it would have been great to get paid a lot more money, but I have been beyond blessed, and who am I to say that I want more money at this point? It's like I college gave me a ton of great opportunities, a ton of great experiences, and we were completely fine living off of our stipend. I was living off of, after rent, I was living off of $450, $500 a month, and I'm like, great, like
A lot
I'm
more than I
saving
got
money.
in college. A lot more than I
I
got
can
in
save
college.
money. It's nuts. But yeah, I think it's probably doing guys a disservice. It's great to be able to start off life with hyper earnings opportunity, but if you take a 90% pay cut going into the real world, you're definitely it's going to get in some guys' heads, and they're going to keep on bouncing around because they expect more money. And it's like, it kind of gives you a faulty sense of how the world works. And it's great. I do think it makes sense to be able to compensate based off of money generated. So like the revenue sharing thing that has come out now, that makes more sense than just random donors giving as much as they want. And I just think it's going to be a great opportunity for the right guys to start off life, and I think it's going to be a pretty tough shot for the guys who are making a lot of money, and then they go into Gen Pop workforce and they are not, and they are spending like they did in college.
Mm.
So it'll be an incredible opportunity for some. it'll be really fun few years for some, and then it'll be a complete detriment to a couple guys with their development and their ability to make good decisions financially after they're done with football. Because I know a lot of guys that are taking a pay cut to play in the NFL.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Like whether it's, and even if you make practice squad, it's like that's a lot of money, but you're taking 60% pay cut to play in the NFL. It's like what? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
Go ahead.
It does make sense with revenue sharing. Like the players are earning the money, and I wish there was a little bit of restriction in the sense, but I will say like Iowa specifically, they do a bunch of like financial literacy courses. It's like in college, you're like, oh, another one, but it's like they're just trying to hammer in the head. Make sure you pay your taxes, withhold money. It's like
those common things, those simple things.
It's not saying save 95% of all you earn. It's like saying like just don't be a degenerate with your money, and things will probably turn out for the better.
Yeah, and you look at it, Logan. I think Iowa does it a little bit better because just recently I had an interview with Tyler Barnes. He talked about they want to develop and then compensate, if that makes any sense. And that's not the exact quote, but they're not giving high school kids millions of dollars just to get them on campus. They're getting kids on campus, developing them, and then almost rewarding them for what they're doing in the college level, which I think makes a lot of sense. A lot of places, unfortunately, a lot of places aren't doing that. I got to ask you before you go to what's the food right now? What do we? Last time I talked to you, you were going to the place in Geneseo and eating the breakfast sandwiches. Help me out.
Locomotive. Yeah,
I haven't been there yet.
Nothing's changed.
Okay, so you
They
just
have burgers now.
Are they
The
good?
best burger, dare I say it? Certainly the best burger in Geneseo. I can't find a better burger in the Quad Cities yet.
What's it called?
The Locomotive, same spot.
Okay, I got to get there. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah. You said you were going to get there soon.
I know. Hey Logan, I got 4 kids. I can't even. What is it better? Hey, is it better than the Logan Lee burger from back in the day?
That was pretty good. I thought Maple Street Grill had some really good burgers.
Awesome.
I thought their Maple Street burger might have been better than mine.
Really? I'll tell you this, Logan. So your
At
burger,
the very least, they're head to head.
do you remember your burger? And here's what I'm going to. It was huli chicken, pork. I think it was pork, and then bacon and candied bacon.
Yes, separate. Yep, bacon and candied bacon with 2 types of cheese. Don't remember, and then
I literally, when I had that, I still put it up there as one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life.
I would say it's up there for sure. I'm a big top 5, top 10 kind of guy.
Yeah,
it's on there.
Where? So in the Quad Cities, what other places do you put on like the burger list?
That's my thing. Like, I got more pizza places than I do burger spots. Frank's best pizza. Frank's is best pizza. Benny's, I can delete 8 of their calzones. Best calzones in the Quad Cities. If you think these are hot takes, you're wrong. What are I have a few more staples that I don't know why, and I'm not even saying I love it, but I've been craving Hungry Hobo.
No, hey, they're a fantastic sponsor of the show, and I eat there all the time. So continue to talk about how good they are, please.
Hungry Hobo's steak sandwiches are unreal, and their mayo's good too. Whatever. So big fan of Hungry Hobo.
What about Mexican?
Mexican, I can't even pronounce it.
That means it's really good.
Ariello in Davenport. Cariendo?
No, Abortes Carrillo.
Yeah.
Is it?
Right.
Do you know? Is it down on like right over the Centennial Bridge?
Right off 3rd Street.
Yes.
Yes. It is
Okay.
unreal. It burned down.
Yes, and it's rebuilt.
And then, yeah,
It's
for sure.
Oh, Logan.
It's
all
the
right,
best.
I know you're super busy. I know you are.
Yeah.
But if you come to the Quad Cities sometime before you go back to Pittsburgh, my treat. We'll go there. We'll hammer a bunch of steak taco. The haracha they have, it's like
unreal.
it's got so much steak. In
It doesn't make sense.
Oh,
How are they
love it.
making money?
I love it. All right. Well, hey, that Carrios is
Go
on
to
me.
Locomotive. Go to Hungry Hobo, guys.
Hey, make my sponsors happy. I appreciate that. Logan, I always appreciate doing this. We're watching from afar. We're rooting the heck out of you. We're hoping for big things for you this year. Stay healthy. Keep doing big things, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Matt. Always a fun time.
Always great to catch up with Logan Lee, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite young people that I got to cover in my time here in the Quad Cities. And of course, we wish Logan the best of luck in year number 2 in Pittsburgh. We're just getting warmed up here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Up next, we continue our look back at some really fun Iowa interviews with a chat with Cooper Koch. That and much more straight ahead on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities, taking a look back at the best of the last couple months here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, focusing on Iowa athletics and the Iowa Hawkeyes today. We heard from Logan Lee in our interview with him in late June in the first segment. Up next, we'll turn our attention to the Iowa basketball program. Obviously, a new regime, a new era when it comes to Ben McCullum and the Iowa Hawkeyes. In fact, only one member from last year's Iowa basketball team will be back in Iowa City this year. He was a freshman freshman last year, redshirted, and is expecting big things here in his second season in Iowa City. Cooper Koch recommitted to Ben McCullum and the Iowa Hawkeyes. He chatted with us in late June as well. Joining us now, a familiar face, Iowa forward Cooper Koch. Coop, thanks for doing this. We were just kind of joking. You're become like a regular. This is your second time on the show. I appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm glad to be here and talk about Iowa hoops.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time, and you guys are up and underway and practicing and summer workouts and all those kind of things. So I guess I'll just start there. What has it been like to get back on the hardwood? Familiar surroundings for you, but different when it comes to a lot of other stuff. What's that been like?
It was definitely a little weird at first, having a whole new coaching staff, all new teammates in the locker room, but it's been a joy to get to know them and get to share the court with them. The weight room's definitely been the biggest difference. We're all hooting and hollering and just hyping each other up in there, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
The last time I talked to you, you had recommitted to the University of Iowa, and you said you had a great talk with Coach McCullum, and you could see yourself there and all those kind of things. I know it's early, but is it what you thought it would be when it comes to what he told you when he got there and then kind of getting rolling here and being back in action?
Yeah, it's everything he's said and more. He's a great guy. He's really competitive. So in practice, everything's competitive. Everything's trying to beat the other team or get better in any way. And it's a lot of fun. I'm excited for this year and the next 3-4 years.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the court in a second, but you mentioned the weight room and all that kind of stuff. What is that side of stuff like? Because everyone thinks on court and all that kind of stuff, but what's that been like, and what kind of shape are you in after kind of struggling with some injuries? And you're getting all big on us, are you?
That's kind of the goal, is to try to get as kind of cut and as strong as possible. But it's a lot of fun. We start like out in the hall. We go running in, do a couple laps to kind of get our bodies warm, especially when we're lifting at 7 or 8 in the morning. You really got to wake yourself up because we go hard. I think we lift about an hour and a half worth of time, and we get it done in an hour. So we're cranking it out. We're running from spot to spot. It's a lot of fun.
I talked to a lot of my media friends that were up there on Thursday for the practice, and they said, like, the surroundings were the same, but like everything was different. Like there was faces and all those kind of things. What was that like for you? I mean, we're the media and they were kind of like everything looked different. This is your home and everything kind of looked different. What was it like when you got out there and you looked around and different faces everywhere?
It kind of felt like I was the transfer at some points, even though I was like one of the only returners, but it's been a lot of fun. It was definitely weird, definitely odd, but it's been a lot of fun to get to know them, and I'm excited for what's to come. You
mentioned workouts and some intense workouts. What are they like? What's a practice or a workout with Coach McCullum like?
He gets really hands-on if you work out with him. During the spring, when I was one of the only ones there towards the end of the school year, I'd go and work out, and there would be 4 or 5 coaches in there because, one, they got nobody else to work out, and 2, that's just what they do. They're all in there. They're all helping. They're all giving input. So it's been a lot of fun. He's a great guy. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to defense and just like angles, and I'm excited to play under him for a while.
You mentioned a word with Iowa basketball that's been maybe taboo or a bugaboo maybe in the past. You said defense. And that's, I think, what a lot of the media that I talked to was looking at. It was what it was like at that end of the floor. What is that like? Is it something that's taught, like gone through? Is it an intensity thing? Is it a style thing? Kind of talk about what defense in this program is.
I'd say it's definitely an intensity thing, a physicality thing. And then I think theirs is a little unique. They're really up the line instead of kind of playing back in gaps. They want to force your man to catch the ball, and then just having the mentality that you're going to stop him and he's not going to get by you. But it's definitely a change from last year. We work on defense every day, multiple drills. And that's something that I know not a lot of Iowa fans or Iowa players are used to.
The defense is exciting. Where are you at as a player? I know you dealt with the injuries and the health stuff. You said you look good and you're feeling good. Where are you health wise? And then where are you as a player? Because I think you're this. I've talked to several Iowa fans that I think they're intrigued by Cooper Koch, if that makes any sense, in a good way. They saw what they saw and they liked it, and then it was taken away. So where are you at health wise, and where are you at when it comes to Cooper Koch, the basketball player?
I'm back to 100% health wise. I have been since February or January, but I think as a basketball player, I'm trying to step into a bigger role because I know we got a lot of mid-major players on this team, but they don't play like mid-major players. They're really good players. So I'm trying to step into a role, and then once some seniors leave next year, try to take over a main role.
Cooper Koch joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Cooper, you mentioned that you kind of feel like the new guy sometimes because there's some familiarity with the Drake transfers especially. What's that been like? Because this is your place. Like, this is your home. What's that been like welcoming them in, and how have they used you and turn them using them, if that makes any sense? How have you guys kind of connected that way?
I definitely do feel the odd one out sometimes because there's 7 players that were related to Drake. All the coaches are from Drake. So they kind of already have their group, and I'm the one learning all the new stuff. But it's been good. They help me out a lot on the court. All the older guys from Drake, they're all good at teaching and showing me what to do, and then all the coaches are great. They got a lot of plays, and we scrimmage almost every practice, so you get a new coach almost every practice. So you get to hear different inputs and different things that they see that can help you out.
My good friend Tom Kakert said that I think you mentioned being almost a tour guide when it came to your role. What's that been like? Because they may know the X's and O's kind of stuff and been around each other, but that's your place. You kind of can show them around a little bit, right?
Yeah, I don't think some of them knew that there were stairs up to the practice gym. So I had to show them that instead of taking the elevator. And then just kind of showing them around Iowa City, all the restaurants, all the good spots to go to, whether it's food, fishing, golf, all that type of stuff.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the spot then. You're the tour guide. Where are you sending people when it comes to food in Iowa City?
Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for Mexican burritos, I'm going to send you to Estella's Mexican Grill. I think it's really good. Sit-down place, I know Monica's is good. I like Monica's. So there's a lot of good spots.
What if somebody's looking for a pizza? Where are you sending them?
Pizza? Monica's has pizza.
Okay.
It's not bad. To be honest, I don't eat pizza a lot.
What about golf? Like, where are you taking people to golf?
Personally, I golf at Finkbine a lot because I have a pass, so I go there. But I've played at Riverside before, and I think that's a really nice place.
Absolutely. So you have an advantage when it comes to that kind of stuff as well. Cooper Koch joining us right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. When you look at expectations for this Iowa basketball team, obviously you have your own things and what you guys expect, and then there's kind of an unknown when it comes to fans and national media and all those kind of things. I guess I'll start with you guys. What are your expectations on where this team can be and what you guys can do this winter? Personally,
I think we're going to surprise people. I know Coach McCollum's used to winning, so he's not going to fly under the radar as much anymore. But I think people are going to overlook us with all the mid-major players and the coach coming from D2 2 years ago. I expect us to be middle of the pack in the Big Ten towards the top. I don't want to make any bold predictions yet, but that's what I think we're capable of.
No, absolutely. Do you hear that kind of stuff? I mean, I know you guys don't get locked into all the social media, all those, but there's so many unknowns. But Coach McCollum's got a great track record, and there's a lot of talented players there. I guess, do you pay attention to? You mentioned people maybe overlooking Iowa. Do you guys hear that?
I try not to be on social media too much, not look at all that stuff, because I think a lot of people just have no idea what they're talking about. But you definitely hear it a little, and I think it'll just kind of fuel us to prove them wrong and just show them what we're capable of.
Has there been a Ben McCollum moment for you where you're like, oh, wow, that's my new head coach, or all right, I like this guy? Or has there been a time where, like, do you have a Ben McCullum story or a moment where you're like, all right, it's a different era and this is my coach now?
I don't know if I have a standout moment yet, but the first day in the weight room, it was intense. The first week was just intense in general. And all the coaches are in there too, which is completely new for me. And it was probably one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. I actually ended up throwing up at the end of it. So that's probably my Ben McCullum waking up moment right
Okay.
now.
Is that something different for you? I don't want to say you're a puker or anything, but like, has that happened in the past, or is that something that was just so intense that that's how intense it was?
Maybe it was what I ate that morning, but I can't say I'm used to doing that in hard workouts. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Cooper Koch joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I want to play a fun little game with you. I don't know if I did like a rapid fire with you last time, but I want to do a word association. I'm going to give you a name, and you're going to give me the first word that comes to your head and then kind of explain it. I'm going to give you an easy one to start. I'll give you a softball. J.R. Koch.
Father, teacher. He just kind of showed me the game of basketball, and he's kind of my mentor, the person I look up to when it comes to basketball.
I know we talked about it last time, but you're a better shooter now, right?
I think so, yeah.
You can't say I think so. You got to say you know so. You're still a little worried.
I do. Yeah.
I love it. Ben McCullum.
Intense. He's a great guy. He's always on the court. He's always in workouts. He'll get up and guard you. He'll get up. He'll be physical with you, and that's definitely something new for me too.
Did you? And this isn't word association, but what were your thoughts on the other Cooper that stopped by practice the other day, Cooper Koch, and then also Coach McCullum can go. Like they sent out this video. He's supposed to be my age. Like he's supposed to be an old man. What was it like having Cooper Koch there first and foremost?
He wasn't at our practice. It was just kind of a coach's, just coach's open gym because they play and they get after it.
Okay.
I know that video probably surprised a lot of people with what Coach McCollum can do, but he can hoop.
What did you think of Cooper's skills on the basketball court?
I knew he'd always been able to play. He played with Peyton Sanford back in AAU a while ago, so I've seen videos of that, and I knew he could play in high school. But he still got it, even with the football body. Yeah,
I was impressed with him. I knew that, but I was impressed with Coach McCullum in a big-time way. You mentioned intense when it came to Coach McCullum. Your old coach was supposed to be intense. I guess word association, Fran McCaffrey, when I say his name.
Just kind of a guide. I always looked up to him since I was a young kid, going to Iowa basketball camps. And then playing under him for a year, he just kind of grew me into the player I was, being able to watch him coach those Iowa basketball teams and being like, yeah, I want to play for him one day. But I would say they're different levels of intense. Fran's intense. He'll get after you. He'll yell at you. I know Coach McCollum will do that too, but Coach McCollum will play defense and he'll show you how to do it right.
So Fran wasn't slapping the floor and playing defense in practice?
He might have when he was a little bit younger, but not this past year. No,
I bet he did. Bennett Sturts.
Baller. I know he maybe takes it a little easy in practice right now because it's the summer, but he can turn it on. What surprised me most is how he gets after it on the defensive end, because I know he's all these clips of his one-legged threes and these floaters and dunks, but he disrupts stuff on defense and he makes it really hard when he's guarding you.
Here's an interesting one. I don't know if everybody will know about Jim Matson.
Jim Matson. Man, he's just a good guy. I always loved his interviews after the games. He'd have great questions, and he's at a lot of games. He's a workaholic. He's always around. No. It was fun to go down to his studio and do interviews there live. It was fun.
Yeah, he's somebody I've known for a long, long time. Intense as well. Like he's an intense dude too when it comes to those kind of things as well. For sure. You mentioned we talked about Bennett Sturts a little bit. And it was funny because I was trying to get you to come down to my dad's golf outing. It didn't quite work out, but you said you hadn't met those guys yet. When you
Yeah.
meet those guys, was it what you thought? I mean, you've seen Bennett Sturts, you've heard about him. You mentioned the one-legged three. Is what Bennett Sturts, did it match what you thought it would be when it came to Bennett Sturts, the guy and the basketball player?
Coach had already told me he was a pretty down-to-earth guy, and I wanted to believe him, but it is definitely true. He's really down-to-earth. He just kind of goes with the flow, doesn't do too much. He's a great leader, though. He's making sure we're all there. We're working out beforehand. He's always getting up shots early, and it's going to be a fun year with him.
A couple more for Cooper Koch before I let him go. And why don't you go watch Game 7? Truth be told, we're recording this before Game 7, but you have a vested interest in Game 7 because a roommate's got a pretty good tie to Indiana and the Indianapolis Pacers. Kind of talk about that, and we don't know what happened, so we can look back tomorrow and watch this. But beforehand, who you got tonight in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
I got the Pacers. My roommate previous roommate was Trey Buchanan, and his dad is the GM of the Pacers. He's now at South Dakota State, got a scholarship, and hoping the best, hoping to watch him play this year and just get after it. He's going to be a really good player for them.
I love it. Before I let you go, that golf game, you mentioned a few places. How is the golf game? I know with the basketball workouts and all that stuff going again, maybe not as much time to go do those kind of things, but we talked about it before. So how's the golf game and how you playing right now?
I haven't played a lot the last 2 weeks because we've had kids camps all through the week, and then I'm just so drained by the end of the week that I just want to rest. But I'd say it's still there. It hasn't gone. It's pretty good. I can get out there and shoot mid-70s.
Are you serious?
On a good day. On a good day.
Cooper, you're just a young pup. You should go play golf. No, don't do that. Stay with the Iowa basketball program. Hey, well, I appreciate your time. I love the fact that you're healthy. Can't wait to watch you rock and roll this year, Carver, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Sounds good. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Always great to catch up with Cooper Koch. We'll have our eyes on him and the Iowa basketball program as they get set for year number 1 under Ben McCollum. We are just getting warmed up when it comes to our best of Hawkeye edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Coming up after the break, we were able to catch up with a familiar face for the Iowa women's basketball program. Sydney Affolter has made an impact on the court for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now she'll look to make an impact on the sidelines as a grad assistant next season. Our interview with Sydney Affolter next, right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves.
Hey, Quad Cities, what's better than Saturday Night IFL football? Saturday Night IFL football with dollar beers. Join us Saturday, July 26th for Fan Appreciation Night as your Steamwheelers take on Tulsa in the regular season finale. This night's got everything. Hard-hitting action, cold beer for a buck, and the wildest crowd in the IFL. Bring your friends, your thirst, and your loudest voice. This one's for the fans. Snag your tickets now at steamwheelersfootball.com/tickets. Brought to you by Bally's Casino.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities, looking back at some of the best of from Off the Air over the last couple months, focusing on the Iowa Hawkeyes on today's show. And when it comes to Iowa athletics, Iowa women's basketball has been at the forefront over the last several seasons. And despite the departure of Lisa Bluter and Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin and others, Iowa women's basketball, a successful season under their first year under Coach Jensen, and the future seems extremely bright as well. One of those people that helped bridge the gap from the Caitlin Clark era to this year's team was Sydney Affolter. She had a fantastic senior season on the court, and now she'll turn her focus to her coaching career. She'll be a grad assistant at the University of Iowa coming up next season. In early June, we caught up with Sydney Affolter and talked to her about that opportunity and a whole lot more. Former Hawkeye and now coach at the University of Iowa, Sydney Affolter, joining me right now. Sydney, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
To introduce you as a former Hawkeye and now a grad assistant is probably different. When you hear that, kind of what goes through your mind?
It is a little weird for sure, just knowing, I mean, obviously I've been a player for 4 years and transitioning to the coaching side of things. It's interesting, but I'm really excited.
Okay, tell us how this all happens. I don't know if obviously coaching is in your future, something you're interested in, but how does this all go down? How does it line up? And obviously you got to be thrilled to stay in a program that you've loved for so long and given to you as well.
Yeah, obviously this program means the world to me. I love it, and I love Iowa City itself, and just the support that this team gets is unreal. So I'm really excited to still be part of it. And me and Jan had a couple of conversations throughout the season, and we circled back once the season was over, and knew that would be an option for me. So I'm really glad that she wants to have me, and I'm excited.
Have you always had coaching in your thoughts, or when was that kind of developed where, you'd love to give back to the game that's obviously given you a ton as well?
I have always really wanted to coach. My dad has been my coach since I was a little girl, and, he coached me in elementary school and then high school and also travel basketball. So, he's definitely a big role model for me in my life, and I think he really sparked my interest in wanting to coach.
Okay, so what kind of coach is Sydney Affolter going to be? You look at you, I mean, you're smiling from ear to ear. You're as nice as can be, but we've seen the competitive side of you on the basketball court. Where do you fit when it comes to coach?
Yeah, I think, my style of play may reflect a lot of my coaching. I'm definitely all about hustle and hard work and leave it all out on the floor. And, the more you work and your time will come. So just putting in the work before, the spotlight comes is super important.
I want to talk to you about your Iowa career here in a second, but before I do, I tried to line up this interview last week, and Bailey told me she's not in the country. I heard you had a nice little vacation. Tell me about the vacation. Was that a graduation present? Something you always wanted to do? And what was it like traveling abroad and having some fun, I'm sure?
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Some of my girlfriends from home in Chicago, and Kylie actually came with. I invited her. But yeah, I mean, going into my junior year, we went to Italy and Croatia, and I loved it, and it was so much fun. And I was hoping I would be able to go back and, explore some different parts of the world. So, there wasn't a better time to do it. I had that time from graduation till when I'm starting this summer for grad assisting. And I thought that I wouldn't really have that time again. You know, it was perfect timing for all of us graduating college, and we went to 5 different countries in 2 weeks. So
That's awesome. What was the favorite country?
I really liked Switzerland a
Okay.
lot. We started there and then we ended in London, and those were probably my 2 favorites.
Look at you. So now I'm super old, but like when I got out of college, me and 4 buddies had this goal of seeing every baseball stadium in the country. So we had a plan to go out east and a plan to go out west. And then we realized we had to work, we had to make money, we had to be adults, and then we didn't get a chance to do it. So super envious of you doing that. Capping off your senior year, when you look back at this past season, so many, I don't want to say question marks, but so many unknowns coming in with, you know, players that had left, some players that had came in like Lucy, a new coaching staff, but not really a new coaching staff because they were familiar, but Lisa not being there. How would you reflect on your senior season when you look back at it as a whole?
Like you said, obviously there was a lot of change. You know, the kind of the era with Caitlin, you know, that was coming to a close, and I was so grateful and blessed to be part of it. And then once her and the seniors left, as well as Coach Bluter, like you said, it was kind of cool to be on 2 different sides of it. I got to experience it with all of them, and then also, you know, as a senior and a captain, experience it without them and kind of take on a much bigger role with Jan. And I thought she did a great job. It was an awesome season. A lot of growing pains, but also just so much success. And we had such a great time, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
2 very good coaches, amazing coaches, but different, maybe. I know they're a lot alike, probably. What was the biggest difference between Coach Bluter and Coach Jensen when it came to during the season, game days, prep, all those kind of things?
I honestly, I feel like a lot of people continuously said, like, oh, that's going to be so different, like Jan and Bluter, but they really, prepped the same way. I didn't really feel much of a difference or much of a transition, which was honestly nice. Like, being there for 3 years, not much had changed. So, maybe Jan's a little bit more lighthearted, or I wouldn't say nicer, but I don't know. She's definitely a talker, so maybe she would continue talking a little bit longer than Bluter. That's about it.
I love it. I love it. Hey, there was a time this season where you made the move to the 4 and it went well. Can you take me through that decision, thought process? And obviously it paid dividends during the season.
Yeah, it wasn't, I would say, necessarily about me moving to the 4. I think we were having struggles with our lineup, with Hannah being at the 4 and I was at the 3. We just needed to move some pieces around, and we thought that Hannah was more successful at the 5, which would allow us all to be more successful in our position. So, you know, it was a tough rotation for some, but ultimately that was what was best for the team. And I think we all started to play better. I was definitely undersized at the 4, but with Hannah at the 5, we were all undersized. So you just got to work a little bit harder, but it was good. Obviously it was the best decision.
Absolutely. Sydney Affolter joining me right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. Sydney, you guys had a struggle during the season this past season, and there was a lull in I want to say a 5-game losing streak, maybe 7. I can't remember exactly what it was. We don't want to dwell on that. But what was it that got you guys going in the right direction? Because I'll argue with anybody that in the last month of the season, the Iowa women's basketball team was one of the, if not the best team in the Big Ten in the country. You guys were playing at such a high level. What flipped the switch, or what changed from maybe that lull in the middle of the season to how you guys finished the year?
Yeah, kind of like you said, changing the starting lineup was honestly really crucial. You know, whether I am a 3 or a 4 player, it was more of, you know, how are we going to create more looks for everyone else on the team as well. And, you know, with Addie at the 5 and Hannah at the 4, the lane was pretty clogged. So it was hard to, you know, create drives or drive and kick. So I think that was honestly the biggest thing. And then once I played at the 4, could also shoot the ball as a 4, and that's kind of what our system has been in the past. So, I think it opened up a lot more opportunities for people, and it was just starting to click a lot better.
Absolutely. You get this transfer from Villanova named Lucy, and nobody knew how she was going to fit in. Everybody knew she was good. And it just seemed to fit right, especially second half of the season, moving the postseason. When was it with her? Or was there a time where you realized that she fit, she clicked, and obviously it was something pretty special towards the end of the year?
Yeah, she's awesome. I mean, she's not a hard person to get along with, first and foremost, but she's also just a great player, and she worked extremely hard from the beginning. So, I think everyone really respected that out of her. But, in the summer we scrimmaged a lot together, and the more we played together, the more we got that connection going. But I think it just obviously took some time, like obviously for her coming to a brand new team, but for all of us, like we were all taking on bigger roles without, Caitlin and Kate and Gabby. There was a lot more expected out of us that we've played with them for so long. So it was definitely a transition for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned those former players and Caitlin, especially. What was you can tell grandkids that you played in 2 national championship games with Caitlin Clark. What was that experience like? Not just with her, but I don't like, I'm not embellishing or anything. I've talked with Chad Leistico about it. You guys were kind of like the Beatles for a little while, like everywhere you went and the crowds followed and all that. You're smiling, but you guys were rock stars. What was that like to be a rock star and be like the Beatles? If I'm probably making myself too old. You know the Beatles, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
It was pretty surreal. I think, just that group of girls was so special, and we are truly so close of friends, and I think we will be friends forever. So being able to do it with girls that you truly enjoy being around, and not just playing with, obviously, but just being in their presence. It was special getting to do that with them, and the recognition that we got, it was very well deserved. We worked extremely hard. But it was pretty cool seeing the following that we got and the support that we got. It meant a lot, and I definitely will never forget that. All 4 years were so special.
What was Caitlin and even Kate and even Gabby, but what were they like in practice? Was Caitlin Clark as competitive in practice as we see each and every night out?
Yeah, probably more, honestly. She is extremely fiery, and I think in practice, that's where obviously you get so much better, but she's pushing all of us to be better. So if you weren't practicing at your best, she definitely would let you know. But that was good. You need someone like that to make everyone on the team that much better.
Did you ever get the best of her in practice, in a shootout, in anything that you can tell us? Any secret story or anything that you edged Caitlin Clark in this or that? In dominoes, in Uno, in checkers, in anything?
I have no idea. I just know that she's probably the most competitive person I've ever met. Like, even playing like a board game or cards on the road or anything, like she was wanting to win. And if she didn't, we were going to play again.
Seeing these ladies in the WNBA and being a Hawkeye and seeing Lucy and seeing Kate and Caitlin, obviously, and Megan, like the University of Iowa is well represented at the highest level of women's basketball. That's something you've got to be proud of. And now still part of a program as a coaching staff. That's something that you guys probably tout and make sure people realize that this is what's going on with Iowa women's basketball right now, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think, Iowa women's basketball has always been such an incredible program, and just to be able to see those girls play at the next level is really special. And, that's what we can do at Iowa, and the way that the coaches prepare us, whether we want to play at the next level or not, but prepare us to be our best, is truly awesome. And I think the player development here is pretty great.
Okay, so I'm a St. Ambrose grad. And rumor has it there may be a connection to St. Ambrose in your family. Your brother played at St. Ambrose, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
What years? Do you know? Make
Uh,
you think.
Yeah, I know. 2018 to 2022.
Okay, so if your brother and you went outside right now and play basketball, who's winning?
Me, obviously. That's not even a question.
Is I was gonna say, like, I mean, shooting contests, 1-on-1, all of it.
Yeah, all of it. He's a little bit bigger than me, so he would probably try and back me down or something, but I got that.
You didn't even hesitate. Are you beating him on a regular basis?
Yeah, for sure. I used to play with his team when I was a little girl, so
Yeah, no,
I'm
absolutely.
used to it.
I love it. I absolutely love hearing that. Well, I got some fun questions for you before I let you go, and I appreciate you jumping on with us on Off at the Air. If you just get done with a big game and you want to celebrate or, treat yourself and you need to go eat and you want to cheat and eat and just be, what's that cheat meal? What's that like guilty pleasure when it comes to food that Sydney has to hammer?
I would say probably like a burger or pizza.
Okay. Is there any certain place in Iowa City or anything like that that's your favorite?
Polly-I's Pizza is my favorite for sure. I love that place.
All right. I love it. If you could have dinner with one person in the world, whoever you wanted to, one meal, who would it be and why?
Oh gosh, probably Michael Jordan.
And
I love him. I watched all of his documentary and whatnot.
Okay, so if I ask this question, and I ask it a lot on the show, and younger people give the wrong answer, who's the GOAT?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, Sydney, well done.
Are you going to say LeBron?
No, but you'd be surprised. Young people, for some reason, think that LeBron's the GOAT. You had the right answer. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Are you superstitious in playing the game of basketball? And if so, what superstitions do you have?
I honestly don't really have any superstitions. Just go with the flow. Typically, our game day routine is pretty strategic. So I guess in that way, we have breakfast and shoot around and, maybe if it's a late game, sometimes a nap. But other than that, nothing specific.
Got it. Pre-game music. Was there any pre-game music that you had to listen to? And if so, what was it?
I usually listen to country, honestly, on the bus because I was already hyped up enough. I didn't need to, get any rap going to get me more excited than I already was.
Awesome. I love it. Have you guys started workouts? Did you guys start this weekend or this week?
It starts June 16th.
Okay, so a couple weeks away. Before I let you go, what will that be like with people that were teammates last year? Are you going to, will it be a little different? Will it be the same? Talk about what the future holds here in just a couple weeks when it comes to Coach Affolter. Are you going to make them call you Coach?
We'll see. I think it obviously will be very different, but the team last year was already very young. And there's a lot of new people coming in too that are young. So just being a senior captain last year, I think, they all have a lot of respect for me and, trust my opinion and, value what I have to say. So I don't think that'll be a problem. Obviously I'm friends with all of them, so that might be a little weird, but I think it'll be great. Obviously I'm excited for all of them and they're going to do great and I'll always have their best interests at heart.
I love that. But make sure you establish your authority, Sydney. Like make them run, make them do suicides, all those kind of things. If they don't if you're out for dinner, and they don't buy your meal, then they run the next day, right?
That's right.
I love it. Well, Sydney, thank you for taking the time to do this. I know that the Iowa fan base was super excited to hear the news that you were staying at the University of Iowa as a grad assistant. Best of luck. Do big things, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
It was great to catch up with Sydney Affolter. Our special thanks to Bailey Turner and all of the Iowa Athletic Department for helping us line up these interviews. So for the last couple months right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We got more to get to. You're watching Off the Air on a Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities, our best of Iowa Hawkeye edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. It's been a fun show so far. We've taken a look back at some fun interviews we've done with some Hawkeyes over the last several months, including the first segment, Logan Lee, Orion standout, heading for year number 2 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We also played for you our interview with Cooper Koch, the only layover from last year's Iowa basketball team as Ben McCullum begins his new era of Iowa basketball. And then, of course, last segment, Sydney Affolter, a new grad assistant at the University of Iowa after she capped off her fantastic year and career for the University of Iowa. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we'll have another best of show, look back at some fun interviews over the last couple months. We'll have our chat with Shauna Green, the women's basketball coach down at the University of Illinois, and also Clinton native. We loved catching up with her. Also, the NFL football season right around the corner. Everyone knows I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan, and there's a local tie with the Detroit Lions. Their head strength and conditioning coach, Josh Schuler, is from right here in the Quad City area, a Muscatine grad. We caught up with him several weeks ago. We'll have that interview for you as well. And then also coming up on tomorrow's show, kind of a look back with Tom Cornelis. TC came out to the house several weeks ago and chatted. So those 3 interviews, really excited about them. They were a ton of fun. Those 3 interviews tomorrow on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, the best of edition as we wrap up the week tomorrow. We'll have no show on Thursday and Friday as the Randazzos travel out of the area. We'll be back mid next week with some more shows Off the Air with Matt Randazzo as we get ready to hit the stretch run of the summer and get into the football season, which is right around the corner. So as always, before we let you go, I want to thank you guys for watching, but I also want to thank our fantastic sponsors for allowing us to do this show each and every day here in the Quad Cities. Godfather's Pizza, Rafferty Funeral Home, Hungry Hobo, Mobile Party Experience, Snoops, and of course the Quad City Steamwheelers. The Wheelers, a big home game coming up this Saturday against Tulsa down at Vibrant Arena at ex-USD Field. Go check that out and get your tickets to that game as well. We thank them for allowing us to do this show each and every day right here in the Quad Cities. That'll do it for our Tuesday edition of the show. We'll see you back here tomorrow.